Alright, so welcome back, guys, and welcome to your first time here. I'm Vision Hero Binary Team up, bringing you guys another video. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my review for Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 1. The end is the beginning. Now, Fear the Walking Dead or The Walking Dead is something you're interested in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That way to miss more Walking Dead content from me moving forward. Now let's begin. So, like I said, we got our first look at the new season of Season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead this past Sunday, as the premiere aired, titled The End is the Beginning. Now, I think this is a really, really great premiere for Fear the Walking Dead. I might even go as far as say it's the best premiere that Fear the Walking Dead has ever had. That's at least in my opinion. It was a really great story. Now, we start off the episode with the new bounty hunter character, Emilie, at a campfire. Now, I loved this opening scene, and it did a lot of good mirroring and a callback to the season 4 premiere with him by a campfire, similar to John Dory. And it was a great opener with the guy, Walter, who was trying to escape him, only to find out that he had ran into a trap by the bounty hunter. So it was really good. And then you got Virginia, who calls up the bounty hunter and hires him to go find Morgan. Now, this is really great. Now, we didn't actually get to see Morgan escape his death at the end of last season. So we do know that he said that he was about to die, and then bullets rang out and the dead dropped in front of him. Now, I'm still predicting that we had Sherry save him, and I think they're gonna save her, saving him for her return, and then we'll see her actually save him. That would take points off, but I have a feeling that will happen. I am going to take a little bit points off there, but at the same time, I'm okay with it. But we see him now just barely trying to survive out on his own. Now, he's able to get past walkers and have them not notice him. Now, a lot of fans were questioning this. However, the people behind the scenes did say that he had an infection of gonorrhea, and due to that, it kind of overtook the smell of regular flesh, and it made him smell like he was like a zombie, I guess, something to that effect. So the walkers didn't know it was a living person. Now, I agree with that. I think that makes sense. That's fine. I know some people were questioning that, but I'm fine with how they explain that answer. But as he's trying to escape, he runs into this man called Isaac. Now, I really loved Isaac as a character. He was a really cool and interesting character, and he kind of makes friends with Morgan, or at least tries to. He's trying to get Morgan to help him, but Morgan wants nothing to do with him, and just keeps trying to tell him to leave him alone as Isaac continues to try and help him. Now, I really like this. It reminded me of Morgan in The Walking Dead, like when he met Easton. So I think that was a really good callback to that. But then you got the two of them holed up in this store, and you got Emilie, the bounty hunter, who comes in and who finds Isaac and questions him. Now, I really like this interaction between the two of them, and I think Emilie was a great bounty hunter villain. I know a lot of fans, at least the ones who don't really like Fear, said he was a weak villain and everything like that. I highly disagree. I think Emilie was a great villain. I think his line delivery was great. It made him even more like a villainous type of character. And I like how they had the whole social contract thing between him and Isaac does like lie to him and say that he hasn't seen Morgan. But however, you got Emilie, who notices that he's kind of sweating it out, and notices something's up, and the two of them go in, and Morgan left his, like, I think it's like a little like cloak thing, or I don't even know what you'd call it, but he left that behind. And you got the bounty hunter's dog Rufus, who finds it. Now you got Emilie, who questions him and starts destroying the place looking for Morgan, at which point Isaac goes off and rescues Morgan, who is still doing bad. And I go back over to Morgan's hideout that he's built up and is staying at. Now, at that point, you got Isaac, who reveals that he knows who Morgan is, and Morgan gets kind of defensive and wonders how he knows that, and he explains that he saw his tapes, which I really liked. It made sense that way, and I like how Morgan's on the defensive as to how does Isaac know who he is, and all that stuff. That was really good, and I like how they brought up why that, because I feel like it felt like realistic, but in the meantime, you got Emilie, who shows up there, destroys the base, and you got Morgan, who doesn't want to leave. However, Isaac talks him into going, and in the midst of it, he does shoot Emilie, and they drive off in Emile's truck. Now, once they hit a roadblock, you got Morgan who wants to go back to his home base that he had built up and redo it, and you got Isaac who's telling him that it's waste. It's destroyed, and Morgan explains that the person who saved him, I guess, left him there or something like that, and he feels like if he stays there, maybe that person can find them again, and they can be reunited, and he can thank them for saving his life, and stuff like that. However, Isaac tells him to come with him. He's got a safe place that they can haul up, and that it's a place that maybe then he can work and find that person later on. And at that same time, he reveals that he knows Ginny and that she must have done something to him that really shook him up. At which point you got Morgan who questions him and goes on the defensive again, and it's revealed that Isaac is a former ranger for Virginia. However, he left the Pioneers after realizing that he didn't agree with Virginia's ways, and that Morgan was more of a way that he wanted to live his life, so he left the compound with his wife. Now they eventually get back to his little camp out or compound at some kind of dam, and the two of them kind of become like friends, and Morgan helps him reunite with his wife who has a baby. And then you got Emilie who shows up in the middle of the night, and Morgan agrees to surrender himself to Emilie if he lets Isaac and his wife live, at which point you got a great moment and you got a great showdown between Emilie and Morgan. It was a really great showdown. I think it was great. Now, Isaac comes out and tries to tell Morgan, you can't do this, and the two of them kind of fight off Emilie, and Morgan tells him, look, you gotta go back inside. I'll take care of this. If I die, you gotta get my people and bring them here, make sure they're safe. However, Isaac revealed that he was bitten the first time he arrived at the compound, and that he's running out of time, at which point Morgan stands up to Emilie, and again they have a great showdown, and Morgan tells Isaac to go there to witness the birth of his son, and in the process Morgan pretty much kills Emilie and decapitates him at the same time, which I love. I love that moment. Is a great showdown, as you got the bounty hunter saying, you won't do this, you're too scared to do this, and Morgan just kills him right down, cuts him right down where he stands. And then we move on, and Morgan pretty much passes out. However, he wakes up later on, and you got Isaac who had removed his bullet, as Isaac had tried to talk him into letting him do that earlier on in the episode, but Morgan wouldn't let him, so Isaac took it out while he was passed out. Now, at that same time, it's revealed that Isaac had passed away from his walker bite, and that his wife buried him, and at that point, Morgan decides that he has to do what must be done, and kind of changes. I wouldn't say he's back into clear mode, but I feel like he has a nice balance between his clear mode, but also his pessimistic ways of life. So I think that was a thing. I think that's kind of where we're going with Morgan right now. Now, at this point, Morgan has somewhat recovered. Now, I know people are going to make a big deal about how he recovered so quickly. Honestly, whenever we deal with TV shows, people recover very quickly. If you're going to make a big deal out of this, you're going to have to make a big deal pretty much with any TV show, because anytime anybody gets, hurt or whatever, they're pretty much up and walking within hours or whatever. So you can't really, I feel like I can't take points off here. So he gets up and is all good and moving around along with the wife who had a baby. Again, I'm not gonna take off points there, because all TV shows do that. But he takes Emilie's head and puts it in the box he labeled for Morgan, and he drops it off and makes a roadblock and drops it off for Virginia to pick up. Now, Virginia finds it on the road and is shocked to find Emilie, and then she radios Morgan saying that she doesn't need him dead. She just needs his people to believe that he's dead, so that his people are given to her way of life. Now, Morgan responds to her saying that the old Morgan Jones is dead, and that she's dealing with someone new now. At which point, I love this, because you can see by Virginia's face that she is scared, she is shocked, she underestimated Morgan, and she drives off with her people. And I love how they ended that with her just scared and shocked and everything. That was a really good way to end it. Now, back at the new compound he has with Isaac's wife, you can see that he has now taken on Emile's look, and he's now using his axe. Now, I really love this because I feel like him now using Emile's clothes and weapon is like a transformation of Morgan into who he is going to be now and a changed man. I think that was a really good symbolism, at least in my opinion. Maybe some people interpret it differently, but in a way I see it as symbolism of as him changing who he is. Now, at that same time, you got him. I don't know if you'd say he's leaving his staff behind. I don't want to see him just leave his staff behind because I feel like that's somewhat of an iconic weapon for Morgan. So I at least hope he still carries it around because I think it's like a signature weapon similar to Rick's Colt Python. So I feel like he should at least still carry it around in my opinion. But maybe that's just me. I think he should at least carry it around even if he's just using Emile's weapon. It just, to me, feels like it should be there just because it's an iconic weapon for Morgan. But that's pretty much where we end off the episode. I thought it was a very strong finale. I feel like I loved every minute of it. I do wish Emile had survived a little bit longer. He was a great villain in my opinion, even though some people are saying he was weak. I don't understand that. But at the same time, I feel like it was okay for him to die. He pretty much was part of Morgan's story to make him change, and I'm glad he changed now instead of dragging it out, so that was fine. Isaac was a cool character that would have been cool to survive, but he also just fulfilled his purpose in getting Morgan into the mindset that he is now, so he wasn't really needed after that, so I'm okay with him dying. Overall, again, I think this is a pretty great, strong premiere for Fear the Walking Dead. Again, in my opinion, probably one of the best premieres for Fear the Walking Dead to date. So I'm going to give this episode a 9.5 out of 10. Very great episode, and I'm really excited to see where we go this season. I think it's a very strong premiere, and I think it's definitely setting up some good potential for season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead. But let me know what you think of this premiere in the comment section down below. So yeah, guys, that's my review of Fear the Walking Dead season 6 episode 1. The end is the beginning. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That way you don't miss more Fear the Walking Dead content from me moving forward. And you go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which are linked in the back section of my YouTube channel. As always, it's been Vision Hero Boy Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.